so awesome.
Yeah, it's great. The thing I was gonna say, the reason why I originally started actually blabbering on about this critical thing was that I had never really paid attention to what I was doing in between songs, and there's like almost like a boredom or a sadness or something in between songs. Like I don't really look like I don't even know what it is that I should be doing in between songs, but there's always like kind of a self-conscious kind of awareness that happens when you finish a song. You really like you've had your eyes closed, or you're like really into the moment, and you really like, it's almost like you've just had a crying fit, and then the song's over and people clap and you kind of open your eyes and you're like, oh geez, you know, like you kind of almost feel like you want people to just like, you want the lights to be off and you want to be like, okay, wait till we get to the next part, or wait till we start the next song to look at me again. And there's this funny, I guess, assumption or stereotype that people who are on stage are really confident people, or really they're very easy to like put into a social situation. And I've always, and people, anytime I say that, oh, I'm shy, or Tegan and I aren't actually that great in social situations, people always say, but you get on stage every night and you know, like you're a performer, like how can that be true? And there's something very there's something about when you're standing in front of a lot of people and you're playing music and the focus is on you. Once you get over that kind of initial nervousness, there's almost like an ease, or there's a momentum that you have.
It's all adrenaline. It all wears out after that 20 minutes. That's why the show sucks in the middle.
No, or like, but seriously, when you're in that moment, when you're in that zone with the song, in between the songs, there's a fracture of that momentum, and you almost are aware of the fact that there are, like, you know, in this case, you know, 1,200 people staring at you, and so you're like, there's this quick snapshot of, like, you know, intense nervousness, and then you start playing again. And it's almost like you're playing in front of nobody.
Look at my muscle.
So.
Do you see it? Look at it. You see that on my arm?
I did see that.
It's like, sorry, I didn't mean to take away from your fractured moment, but sorry. See, I'm having a fractured moment now too. I was in the heat of the moment. That little muscle, I didn't even know I had it. I'm gonna look at it right now. Just from pushing the keyboard, people, right there. Amazing. I'm gonna go on the infomercial channel with Suzanne Summers, and I'm gonna sell a keyboard. But it'll be a fake keyboard, but it'll be weighted keys, and you can work out those triceps or whatever they are.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'll be rich and I'll be able to.
This is So Jealous that we're playing right now, and this was the last song that I actually wrote for the record, and I wrote it right before I went home for Christmas vacation in 2003.
We listened to it at my mom's house when we got there for Christmas. We always, you know, Sarah and I come a little bit early, and three of us, my mom and Sarah and I, were in the kitchen, and then Sarah brought down, I played them Living Room, really out of tune version of Living Room. No, sorry, that was the Christmas before Halloween. I mean, not Living Room. What song? Oh, I mean, I know. Sorry, I got all confused there. Because they're so similar songs, obviously. You know, the banjo, you know, it's consistent. So I played them, I know. And then Sarah went upstairs. She came back with a CD with So Jealous on it. And I was convinced she'd written the song about me. You know, the lyric, I get so jealous. I can't even sleep. I want the ocean right now. Or I can't even work. Because I live by the ocean, and she moved away from the ocean. And in my head, I was like, wow, Sarah's really going deep. She's writing about leaving her twin, and I'm back in Vancouver by the ocean, and she's sad, and she's going to move back. And
that wasn't what I wrote the song about, though.
No, but I thought that in the moment. I turned to Sarah and I was like, great song. And my mom was like, you guys are sad. Are you guys sad?
Anyway, it's probably one of my favorite songs to play every night, and I think that's because it's a little bit of a break from like what our kind of like original, or our style, like stylistically. I feel like it's a bit of a departure, and there was a bunch of other songs that I wrote after So Jealous, although they didn't make it onto the record. A couple of them sounded a bit Peter Gabriel or something, and I just wasn't sure if they really fit the rest of the album. And it's funny because, you know, a lot of times you'll write a song like I actually wrote I Bet It Stung when we did If It Was You, and I just didn't feel like it really went with what we had written for If It Was You. It was almost it just felt completely different. It didn't have the same energy, and so it sort of sat on my computer hard drive, and then all of a sudden, you know, we started working on writing songs and stuff like that after we had toured If It Was You for a couple of years, and it was like, I'm gonna drag this song out and see where it goes. And listening to it, I was like, wow, it's just like, it seems so, it's ready now. It feels ready now. And I once read,
it's like your it's your Outcast song.
That's what I was about to say. I read that he had written Hey Ya for the Outcast album before the Love Below, and then when he got into the studio, it was like, okay, I'm going to rework this song, and all of a sudden it became this kind of like massive hit, and you almost wonder how could that have gotten left behind. But sometimes you're just not ready to really like explore or expand or change the arrangement of a song. You kind of just sort of give up on it. So There's a bunch of songs that I'm very seriously considering reworking and trying to release, but
which I can't even imagine. I just have so many songs on the go now. The idea of going back and like taking a song.
I really like that though. I feel like if it comes out, it's important. I mean, that's my writing style. Like once something comes out, I really feel like it's important to.
Whereas my writing style is just to write about everything that happens, write a song a day, dedicate my life to writing a new song every single day. Even in my head, I get in the shower in the morning and I sing a new song and I'm like, wow, that'll suck, but
I like it. I like the stage shot when it's just the red heart, like without the circle around it. It's funny because that backdrop. Emmy and I actually made that in my living room, and we wanted to make it big, and so we had gotten 4 black sheets, and then we had gotten all this felt, and nothing was big enough by itself, so we had to just like buy duplicates of everything, and so putting it together was actually really difficult, and we fought the entire time, and it was like my living room was not big, and it was like really difficult. Like it was constantly like, well, you pull your end over, well my end's over the couch and I can't move anymore, and so it really took a long time. And I swear to God, that thing is gonna be like, I'm gonna turn that thing into a duvet cover when we're done this tour. It's like that is never gonna leave my possession.
Smoky bars.
Of course, I'm not gonna make a duvet cover, but that is going.
If I went over to your house and you had that on your bed, I would.
Well, that's
disown you.
That's embarrassing, like, and maybe I should have a unicorn motif, like. I think the bottom line though is that that's one of the most important things that it really represents something to me, because it was very DIY making it, and it was like an accomplishment, and now it's hung in every venue that we've played this year, and this year was really a year of a lot of just exciting times, like getting to play lots of really cool shows and traveling all over the world and stuff. So that's going in the Ziploc bag for sure.
Yeah, a giant one. Okay, so we just talked all the way through Where's the Good Go. Didn't say much about it, but we do play Where's the Good Go right into Speak Slow. That's our one rock star moment, our rocker moment, where we actually have 2 songs that go right into each other rather than talking for minutes in between. And Speak Slow was the second single off of So Jealous, though it didn't do near as well as Walking with a Ghost did, but I think that it was a really different, it was, we've never ever gotten accepted onto radio, let alone, alternative radio, which is where we prefer to be rather than pop radio, just because, the type of bands that get played on alternative radio tend to be the ones that we listen to. And when we put the record out, we had no idea, we had no real goal about going to radio, even though we thought the record had lots of songs that could have been potential, singles. And when everyone came back with Walking with a Ghost, we were all really shocked, because one of the producers didn't even think that Walking with a Ghost, potentially should even be on the record. And the video itself was really arty and really great, but not like a potential video to get on Much Music or MTV. Some of the more alternative stations played it, but I was sort of like, I don't know if Walking with the Ghost is going to be it, but the landscape at that point, was Modest Mouse, Franz Ferdinand, like the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. There was a lot of really alternative stuff hitting the mainstream, which was awesome, and it always happens, you see these trends, but then, so Walking with the Ghost fit right in. It was like perfect. It was destined, and it did so well at radio, and we'd seen our audience grow so much, and it was such an amazing time, and we all had like a lot of momentum going into Speak Slow as a second single. We did a video, so if you haven't seen the video yet for Speak Slow, definitely go check out both Walking with the Ghost and Speak Slow in the video section. But we had such a fun time working the song. It wasn't even going to make, it didn't even make the list of pre-production, the pre-production list. We weren't even working it, and we were all having a really hard time. Like the second week, we were having a really tough time feeling inspired. We'd been in the studio like 8 hours a day, rehearsing the songs, working on everything. And I took the CD out and I had a bunch of songs that Sara had written that we hadn't been working on, and there was a song on it, I think it was Don't Look Over There. Was that the song we were going to try to work on?
I think so, yeah.
I thought it was kind of Genesis-esque, and I really liked it, so Sara played it for the band, and then this Speak Slow, an earlier version of it that I demoed at home, came on, and the band, Rob's eyes lit up, because we'd been working on Wake Up Exhausted and I Know That Aren't That Rocky, and he was like, let's try this one, and the song kind of morphed into what it is today. So it was a really fun song, and I'm really glad I got, at least some airplay, and it got a video out of it, because I really, really do enjoy playing that song.